Alright guys, let me know how y'all weekends was. Comment down below. But this week we gotta get to the markets. So as you can see, I have the nasdaq and sbux pulled up, SPY. The reason I have these pulled up is because I came up with this idea of, I was like, okay, if I give you my analysis on the whole indice that the stocks are traded in, then you guys will know the daily levels for the nasdaq and can refer it to stocks. So meaning, I give you my analysis on nasdaq, and then anything that's in the nasdaq sector or nasdaq indice, like Apple, AMD, Google, Starbucks, stuff like this, you can trade off these nasdaq levels. So if I'm bearish, like right now I'm bearish on nasdaq, you can be bearish on all those stocks, but you have to find an entry. And I basically, if you go back on my YouTube, I literally show you how to entry. And I'll also, with this, I'll give you 3 stocks that I'm going to trade. So let's get to it. So nasdaq, this is the home market. So anything that any stock you type in, it says nasdaq, yeah, electronics, all this. Let's go. Right, like let me type in Apple right here, it says nasdaq because it's in that sector, in that indice. So let's go back. As you can see, the daily is bearish, so therefore I will be looking short. There is a weekly fair value gap on the nasdaq, so when we are bearish, I'm only looking for a retrace to the weekly fair value gap. After that, then I'll do another analysis. As you can see, let's go to the 4-hour. So I'm trying to look for a short entry. Right now, we are not getting that 4-hour broke structure to the downside, and then it retraced to the mitigation block, and then did not hit the fair value gap. So there's nothing there. 1 hour is doing nothing. 1 hour did not break structure. 1 hour is just chopping around. So 15 minute, it's going up a little bit. Let me just break it down for you guys here. A down candle and an up candle is a low. So then, okay, we know that this candle was the breaker structure. Then we go to the next candle. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Let's say, okay, is there an entry here? Do I see an entry? Yes. 15-minute broke structure. Okay, so let's put that back. Then let's go to the 5-minute. Okay, the 5-minute, perfect. The 5-minute hit the order block. So boom, right there on that next candle, you would just enter short. Stops would be above the high. Go to the 1 hour. Oh. Go to the 1 hour. Boom, you entered on this down candle, all because you saw a breaker structure and you said, okay, this next candle I'm getting in, and then your take profit could have been at these lows. So that's what I mean. So if you see that coming up on the nasdaq, then you would go short and life is good. And you also have a stop loss that is shorter than your take profit. There you go. On the sbux SPY, the daily is bearish, so we are looking for shorts once again. Now there is a weekly fair value gap, and there also is a daily gap. So the daily gap is more precise. The weekly fair value gap is just like, oh, it's going to go to this big area. The daily gap is like, it's going to hit this area. You know what I'm saying? But all-time highs is so close. It's so close to being hit. So I think 4 hour, I'm not seeing anything. 1 hour, okay, broke structure to the downside. Has not broke structure to the upside. Let's go back to the 4 hour. 4 hour broke structure to the downside, so it's all bearish. 15-minute broke structure to the upside, but we don't really care about that. So this could either go two ways. It hits all-time highs and then you wait for a 1 hour break of structure and then go short, or it hits the weekly fair value gap and then you can go, if you see a 1 hour break of structure, go long and long till all-time highs. You know what I'm saying? So it's either or with this one, but I feel like Nvidia on earnings is gonna move SPX and it might hit all-time highs because Nvidia earnings is going to be profitable. I would be genuinely surprised if it goes short on earnings. I just don't see that happening. But anyways, now let's get into the stocks that I'm going to trade. First we got AVGO. Alright, we are on AVGO on the daily time frame. As you can see, there's a daily gap, yeah, right here, and daily is bearish. So we are looking for shorts. Go to the 4 hour. I don't see I see a break of structure to the downside. 1 hour broke structure to the downside, and then it gapped up, filled this gap. Now it's doing nothing. So honestly, I would just wait for a 15-minute break of structure to the downside and then go short until 160. Or it might just go with NASDAQ and then it might just sweep this liquidity and then go down. But just wait for a short entry on AVGO and that's it. 1 hour break of structure and then you scale into the 15-minute, 5-minute, get an entry. There you go. This is the next stock I'm trading. This is Oracle. Now Oracle is on the NYSE. Why don't I do that NASDAQ? I mean, why don't I analyze NYSE? Honestly, I should have thought about that, because then we'll cover every single market. And then you can just be like, oh, this stock's in the NYSE. Oh, he said he's going bullish, we're going bullish. Oh, NASDAQ is going bearish, it's going bearish. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a weekly fair value gap within here. Daily is not saying it's bearish or anything. We're in fact bullish. So therefore, once price hits this weekly fair value gap, then I would look for a longer entry. But until then, let's see how we can capitalize it till the fair value gap. Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour book structure to the downside. That's a good sign. 1 hour book structure to the downside, but then it retraced up. So I'm not really seeing anything. And then 15-minute is not really doing anything as well. But on this one, I would do the same. 1 hour breaker structure to the downside. 15-minute, 5-minute entry short. Then short to the fair value gap. Once it's in the fair value gap, you have to wait for a 1 hour breaker structure to the upside and then go long. And then this is the last stock I'm trading, AMD, man. Now this one is in the NASDAQ, so we don't got to worry about it. Boom, daily is bearish. We are looking for shorts. Daily book structure right there. 4 hour book structure again. 1 hour broke structure, and then it gapped up, filled the gap. Now it's not doing anything. What would I do? Wait for a 15-minute break of structure to the downside. Take profit at the weekly fair value gap. And let me actually show you guys how you can do this. So let's go here, boom. Wait. Let's go here. Boom, broke structure to the downside on this candle because it closed below the low. Now let's go here. But what do you notice? you're like, I noticed a fair value gap. Boom. So once price taps into this fair value gap, you could go short, which it did right here, or you can go to the 5 minute to be safe. Boom. What do you notice? 5 minute break of structure to the downside, and then you could say, okay, I'm gonna wait till it hits this fair value gap. And did price ever hit the fair value gap? No. Did you trade? No. So that's up to you guys. You could instantly go short at the 15-minute fair value gap, but honestly, on a 15-minute fair value gap, I would go short. But on a 1 hour fair value gap, I would have to wait for a 5 minute break of structure and then entry. That's what I noticed, because higher time frames, fair value gaps, have to get filled a little bit more than the 15-minute. 15-minute, it just taps it, tanks. The 1 hour daily, 4 hour, you have to wait for a confirmation. But anyways, I think price is just gonna retrace to the weekly fair value gap. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But Nvidia has earnings and it could mess up the whole market. So I'm aware of that. But if you look at the stock, or if you look at the charts, everything's saying it's going down, but NASDAQ might ring it up. Anyways, I'm out. You have a good one.